Have you ever felt a chill down your spine when someone you trust suddenly betrays you, leaving you wondering if you've encountered true evil? Imagine this. You're working closely with a colleague, someone you've always considered a friend. But one day, out of nowhere, they start spreading lies about you, manipulating situations to their advantage, all while maintaining a facade of friendliness. It's only later that you realize you've been dealing with someone who might not just be bad, but truly evil. This scenario isn't just a figment of imagination. It's something many of us face in our lives, and that's why understanding the signs of evil is crucial. Stay with me until the end of this video as we dive deep into these signs, revealing how Stoicism can help you identify and protect yourself from these toxic individuals. What is evil? Evil, as a concept, has been debated by philosophers, theologians, and thinkers for centuries. It's more than just wrong actions or bad behavior. Evil represents a fundamental corruption of the human spirit. In various cultures, evil is depicted as an external force, like demons or malevolent spirits, driving individuals to commit heinous acts. However, Stoicism offers a more nuanced perspective. In Stoic philosophy, evil is not an external force, but a result of ignorance and poor judgment. The Stoics believe that every person is born with a seed of virtue, potential to live in harmony with nature and society. But when someone loses their way through greed, arrogance, or malice, they become susceptible to evil actions. For the Stoics, evil is an internal failing, a deviation from reason and virtue. Let's take a closer look at the first sign of dealing with an evil person: manipulation. The first sign, manipulation. Manipulation is often the first clue that you might be dealing with an evil person. It's subtle, insidious, and can easily go unnoticed until it's too late. Manipulative people use others as tools to achieve their own goals, without any regard for the well-being or feelings of those they are exploiting. This kind of behavior is a clear deviation from the Stoic principles of justice and fairness. In everyday life, manipulation can take many forms. It might be a colleague who twists your words to make you look bad in front of your boss, or a friend who plays on your emotions to get what they want. The Stoics would argue that manipulation stems from a deep-seated insecurity and a lack of moral grounding. When someone manipulates others, they reveal a disconnection from the Stoic virtues of honesty, integrity, and respect for others. One historical example of manipulation can be found in the story of Julius Caesar and Brutus. Brutus, who was once a close friend and ally of Caesar, was manipulated by other conspirators into believing that Caesar's death was necessary for the greater good of Rome. The manipulators played on Brutus' sense of duty, and love for his country, leading him to commit an act that would haunt him for the rest of his life. This tragic tale highlights how even the noblest of individuals can be swayed by manipulation, resulting in devastating consequences. But how can you recognize manipulation before it causes harm? The key lies in observing patterns of behavior. Manipulative individuals often use charm and persuasion to get what they want. They might shower you with compliments or favors, only to later ask for something in return. They are skilled at reading people's weaknesses and exploiting them. For example, they know you have a fear of rejection. They might use that fear to coerce you into doing something you're uncomfortable with. To counter manipulation, the Stoics recommend practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. By understanding your own emotions and motivations, you can better recognize when someone is trying to manipulate you. It's also important to set clear boundaries and stick to them. Don't be afraid to say no, and don't let guilt or fear dictate your actions. Remember, a Stoic strives to live according to reason and virtue, not the whims of others. Another useful Stoic technique is the view from above exercise. This involves mentally stepping back from a situation and viewing it as if you were an outsider. By doing so, you can gain a clearer perspective on the manipulative behavior and see it for what it truly is: a tactic designed to control you. This detachment allows you to respond calmly and rationally, rather than being swayed by emotions. The first sign, manipulation, is a clear indicator that you're dealing with someone who lacks moral integrity. Recognizing it early on can save you from a great deal of pain and frustration. But manipulation is just one of the many signs of evil. The next sign is even more insidious and can have devastating effects on relationships and communities. The second sign: lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It's the foundation of human connection and compassion. When someone lacks empathy, they are unable to relate to others on a fundamental level. This lack of empathy is often a hallmark of evil behavior. Individuals who lack empathy see others as mere objects, existing only to serve their needs. They are indifferent to the pain and suffering they cause, and they often justify their actions by dehumanizing their victim. This is why lack of empathy is so dangerous. Removes the moral checks that prevent people from committing harmful acts. In history, some of the most notorious figures, such as dictators and tyrants, exhibited a profound lack of empathy. Their cruelty was not just a result of their desire for power, but also their inability to see others as fellow human beings deserving of dignity and respect. This dehumanization allowed them to commit atrocities without a second thought. But lack of empathy isn't just a trait of history's villains. It can also be found in everyday interaction. Might be a boss who is completely indifferent to the stress and workload they place on their employees, or a partner who dismisses your feelings and concerns as trivial. These individuals are often self-centered, focusing solely on their own needs and desires, without any regard for the impact of their actions on others. The Stoics teach that empathy is a key component of living in accordance with nature. They believe that all human beings are interconnected and that our actions should reflect this understanding. When someone lacks empathy, they are out of harmony with this natural order, leading to behaviors that are destructive both to themselves and to others. To protect yourself from those who lack empathy, it's important to cultivate your own sense of empathy and compassion. By doing so, you can better recognize when someone is acting without empathy and take steps to distance yourself from them. It's also helpful to practice forgiveness and understanding, not for the sake of the person who wronged you, but for your own peace of mind. Holding on to anger and resentment only harms you in the long run. Another Stoic practice that can help is the exercise of premeditation of evils, premeditatio malorum. This involves mentally preparing yourself for the possibility of encountering people who lack empathy. By imagining how you would respond to such individuals, you can strengthen your resolve and ensure that you remain calm and composed in the face of their indifference. Lack of empathy is a serious warning sign you may be dealing with an evil person. It's a trait that, if left unchecked, can lead to significant harm. But recognizing it is the first step toward protecting yourself and those you care about. In the next section, we'll explore another dangerous sign: deception. The third sign: deception. Deception is one of the most harmful tools in the arsenal of an evil person. It's the act of intentionally misleading others to achieve personal gain, often at the expense of truth and integrity. Deception can range from small lies to massive frauds, but regardless of its scale, it erodes trust and damages relationships. Throughout history, deception has been used to manipulate entire nations, destroy reputations, and achieve power. Take, for example, the infamous case of the Trojan horse. The Greeks, unable to conquer Troy after years of siege, resorted to a cunning ruse. They built a large wooden horse, hid their soldiers inside it, and presented it as a gift to the Trojans. Believing the war was over, the Trojans brought the horse within their city walls, only to be attacked from within by the hidden soldiers. This act of deception led to the fall of Troy, illustrating the devastating power of deceit. In more modern times, deception can be found in corporate scandals, where companies mislead investors, employees, and the public to cover up financial misdeeds. These deceptions often lead to widespread harm, including job losses, financial ruin, and a loss of faith in institutions. On a personal level, deception can be just as damaging. It might be a partner who lies about their actions or intentions, or a friend who spreads false information to tarnish your reputation. These acts of deception create a web of distrust, making it difficult to discern who can be relied upon. From a Stoic perspective, deception is a clear violation of the virtue of honesty. The Stoics placed a high value on truth and integrity, believing that a person's word should be as solid as their character. Deception, by its very nature, is incompatible with the Stoic way of life. which advocates for living in accordance with reason and virtue. But how can you spot deception before it wreaks havoc on your life? One way is to pay close attention to inconsistencies in a person's words and actions. Deceptive individuals often struggle to maintain their lies over time, leading to contradictions that can reveal their true nature. For example, someone who is lying about their whereabouts may give conflicting accounts of their activities when questioned. These small discrepancies can be a red flag that something is amiss. Another tactic is to observe how a person reacts when confronted with the truth. A deceptive individual might become defensive, shift blame, or try to change the subject to avoid being caught in their lies. This behavior is a telltale sign that they are not being forthright. The Stoics also advise practicing the virtue of skepticism, approaching situations with a critical mind and not taking everything at face value. This doesn't mean you should become distrustful of everyone, rather that you should seek evidence and clarity in your interaction. When you suspect deception, ask questions, seek out facts, and verify information before drawing conclusions. However, it's important to strike a balance. While skepticism can protect you from deception, excessive doubt can lead to cynicism and paranoia, which are not in line with Stoic principle. The goal is to find a middle ground where you remain vigilant but not overly suspicious. Deception, whether in small or large doses, is a serious warning sign of evil behavior. It undermines the trust that is essential for healthy relationships and can cause irreparable harm. Recognizing and addressing deception early on can save you from much greater pain down the line. Fourth sign, insecurity. Hidden by arrogance. Arrogance is often a mask that hides deep-seated insecurities. When someone projects an air of superiority, they may actually be compensating for feelings of inadequacy or fear. This combination of arrogance and insecurity can lead to destructive behaviors, as the individual seeks to assert control or dominance over others to protect their fragile ego. Arrogant individuals often belittle others, dismissing their opinions or contributions as unworthy. They may dominate conversations, refuse to admit mistakes, and constantly seek validation through praise or recognition. This behavior is not just annoying, it can be harmful, especially in professional or personal relationships where collaboration and mutual respect are key. The Stoics recognize that true strength and confidence come from within, not from external validation. They taught that arrogance is a sign of weakness, not power. A person who is truly confident has no need to belittle others or assert their superiority because they are secure in their own abilities and worth. To identify insecurity hidden by arrogance, pay attention to how someone reacts to criticism or failure. A confident person can accept constructive feedback and learn from their mistakes. In contrast, an arrogant individual is likely to react with anger, denial, or blame shifting. They may also go to great lengths to avoid situations where their weaknesses might be exposed, preferring to stay in environments where they can maintain their illusion of superiority. Another sign of this insecurity is a constant need for validation. Arrogant individuals often fish for compliments or seek out situations where they can be the center of attention. This need for external approval reveals a lack of internal self-assurance, as they rely on others to boost their ego. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful antidote to arrogance: humility. The Stoics believed in living modestly and focusing on personal growth, rather than external accolades. By practicing humility, you can protect yourself from the influence of arrogant individuals and avoid falling into the trap of insecurity yourself. When dealing with someone who is both arrogant and insecure, it's important to maintain your own sense of self-worth. Don't let their behavior undermine your confidence or push you into playing their game. Instead, respond with calmness and reason, staying true to your values and not allowing their arrogance to dictate your actions. Insecurity hidden by arrogance is a dangerous combination that can lead to toxic dynamics in any relationship. Recognizing this sign of evil can help you navigate these situations with wisdom and strength, preserving your own peace of mind and integrity. The fifth sign, projection of guilt. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism where an individual attributes their own undesirable feelings or behaviors to someone else. When someone is guilty of wrongdoing, they may project that guilt onto others, accusing them of the very actions or thoughts they are guilty of. This projection is not just a way to deflect blame. It's a way to avoid confronting their own shortcoming. In relationships, projection can be extremely damaging. For example, a partner who is unfaithful might accuse their spouse of cheating, even if there is no basis for the accusation. This not only creates unnecessary conflict, but also shifts the focus away from their own transgressions. In the workplace, a dishonest employee might accuse others of unethical behavior to cover up their own misconduct. From a Stoic perspective, projection is a sign of moral and emotional weakness. It reflects an inability to take responsibility for one's actions and a refusal to engage in the self-examination necessary for personal growth. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-awareness and accountability, virtues that are fundamentally opposed to the practice of projection. To identify projection, it's important to listen carefully to accusations and criticisms from others. If someone is constantly accusing you of behaviors that you know you're not guilty of, it may be a sign that they are projecting their own guilt onto you. This can be particularly challenging to deal with because projection often involves intense emotions and can create a cycle of blame and defensiveness. One way to counter projection is to stay grounded in your own sense of truth. Don't let someone else's accusations make you doubt yourself. Instead, take a step back and assess the situation objectively. Ask yourself if there is any validity to the accusations, and if not, recognize them for what they are: reflection of the other person's own guilt or insecurity. Another Stoic practice that can help is the exercise of self-reflection. Regularly examining your own thoughts and actions can help you stay attuned to your true self, making it easier to recognize when someone is trying to project their issues onto you. By maintaining this inner clarity, you can avoid getting caught up in the manipulative tactics of others. Projection of guilt is a manipulative strategy that shifts blame and responsibility away from the individual committing the wrongdoing. Recognizing this sign can help you protect yourself from being unfairly accused and ensure that you remain true to your own values and sense of integrity. The sixth sign, the desire to control. The desire to control others is a classic hallmark of an evil person. Control is about exerting power over another individual, dictating their actions, thoughts, and even emotions. People who crave control often do so out of fear, insecurity, or a deep need to dominate. This behavior is not only toxic but also destructive, leading to environments where autonomy and freedom are stifled. Control can manifest in various ways, from overt displays of dominance to more subtle forms of manipulation. In relationships, a controlling partner may dictate what their significant other can wear, who they can talk to, or where they can go. In the workplace, a controlling boss might micromanage every aspect of an employee's work, refusing to allow any independence or creativity. These actions are not just about maintaining order. They are about asserting power and keeping others in a state of dependence. From a Stoic perspective, the desire to control others is fundamentally at odds with the principles of freedom and self-governance. Stoicism teaches that the only thing we can truly control is our own mind and actions. Attempting to control others is not only futile, but also a sign of a disturbed mind that is not at peace with itself. To identify a controlling person, pay attention to how they respond when you assert your own autonomy. Do they become angry, defensive, or dismissive? Do they try to undermine your confidence or make you feel guilty for wanting to make your own decisions? These are clear signs that they are uncomfortable with the idea of losing control and will go to great lengths to maintain their dominance. Another sign of a controlling person is their use of fear as a tool for control. They might use threats, either explicit or implicit, to keep you in line. This could be a threat of punishment, withdrawal of affection, or even physical harm. The goal is to create an environment where you feel too scared to challenge their authority. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful counter to the influence of controlling individuals: the practice of emotional detachment, apatheia. By cultivating an indifference to external circumstances and focusing on your own inner virtues, you can resist the control that others try to impose on you. This doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent to injustice. Rather, it means you refuse to let others dictate your thoughts, emotions, and action. When dealing with a controlling person, it's important to set and enforce clear boundaries. Let them know what behaviors you will and will not tolerate, and be prepared to stand firm in your convictions. This might lead to conflict, but it's essential for maintaining your own sense of autonomy and self-respect. It's also helpful to surround yourself with supportive people who respect your boundaries and encourage your independence. A strong support network can provide the emotional strength needed to resist the influence of a controlling individual. The desire to control is a clear sign of an evil person, as it reflects a deep-seated need to dominate and subjugate others. Recognizing this behavior and taking steps to protect yourself is crucial for maintaining your freedom and well-being. Understanding the Stoic response to evil. Having recognized the signs of evil, the next step is to understand how Stoicism can help you respond effectively. The Stoics believe that evil, like any other external challenge, can be managed through the cultivation of inner virtues and the application of reason. One of the core Stoic practices in dealing with evil is the development of apatheia, or emotional detachment. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, but rather learning to maintain inner calm in the face of external adversity. By detaching yourself from the emotional turmoil that evil individuals can create, you can think more clearly and respond more effectively. Another important Stoic concept is the idea of living according to nature. For the Stoics, this means living in harmony with the natural order of the universe, which includes recognizing the limitations of your control. You cannot change the nature of an evil person, but you can choose how you respond to them. By focusing on your own actions and maintaining your commitment to virtue, you can navigate even the most challenging situations with grace and integrity. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-examination. Regularly reflecting on your own thoughts and behaviors can help you stay aligned with your values and avoid being swayed by the negative influence of others. This practice of self-awareness is essential for maintaining your moral compass in a world where evil often goes unchecked. Case studies from Stoic philosophy provide valuable lessons on how to respond to evil. For example, consider the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers. Despite being surrounded by corruption, betrayal, and political intrigue, Marcus Aurelius remained committed to Stoic principles. He approached his duties with a sense of duty and compassion, even towards those who sought to harm him. His meditations offer a profound insight into how Stoic philosophy can help us maintain our integrity and humanity, even in the face of evil. Another example is the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who was born into slavery and endured significant hardships throughout his life. Despite his circumstances, Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from within. By mastering our own thoughts and emotions, we can remain free even in the most oppressive situations. His teachings remind us that, while we may not be able to control the actions of others, we can always control how we respond to them. By embracing these Stoic practices, you can build a strong foundation for dealing with evil in your life. Whether it's manipulation, deception, arrogance, projection, or control, the principles of Stoicism provide a roadmap for navigating these challenges with wisdom and resilience. Conclusion: the ongoing journey of Stoicism. As you embrace Stoicism in your life, you embark on an ongoing journey of self-discovery, growth, and ethical living. Principles of Stoicism, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, provide a powerful framework for navigating life's challenges, cultivating inner peace, and living with purpose. While the journey may be challenging at times, the rewards of living a Stoic life are immense, offering a deep sense of fulfillment, resilience, and connection to the world around you. Stoicism teaches that true happiness and contentment come not from external achievements or material possessions, but from living in harmony with your values and principles. By committing to the practice of Stoicism, you align your life with these timeless virtues, creating a foundation for a life that is both meaningful and impactful. As you continue to study, and apply Stoic principles, remember that Stoicism is not about perfection or rigid adherence to a set of rules. It's about continuous improvement, self-reflection, and striving to be the best version of yourself. Each day offers new opportunities to practice Stoicism, whether it's through facing a challenge with courage, treating others with kindness and fairness, or finding peace in the present moment. The journey of Stoicism is a lifelong one, filled with opportunities for growth, learning, and the cultivation of virtue. As you walk this path, you'll discover that Stoicism is not just a philosophy. It's a way of life that empowers you to navigate the complexities of the modern world with wisdom, resilience, and grace.